Apple problem jeans.
Wait, what?
That's a thing.
Did you say Apple?
Apple
What a
problem
thing?
jeans. Yeah, that's a thing, right? No.
No. No Apple problem jeans. What the hell are you talking
Okay.
about? Man.
Anyways, what's up, Mr. Rob?
Hey, buddy.
Are we live? Is it live? Is it chopping?
Yeah, we are live. We are live. And File Live. Hey, man, I just want to say, just start off the show. First, it was so good in person. It was a hell of a lot of fun. I stopped by the store on Saturday. And it's funny. You looked better on Saturday, and I was trying to put my finger on it, and I was like, "Oh, because you're wearing a mask."
Oh, you son of a
So yeah, it was so good seeing you, man. The store looks good. Lots of stuff. I got the interrogation as to what I purchased when I was there. I was like,
a few odds and ends.
What happens at Heroes World stays at Heroes World.
Yeah. Destroy the evidence.
Yeah. That's right. I lit all the boxes on fire. They can't find me. See, Kappa can't get me. So yeah.
He's also from the 50s.
Yeah, I'm the 30s, eh? See over here. Listen to me, wife. I get what I want to get. See?
Would it be the 40s, 30s?
Yeah, probably would be like the 30s. And I don't think people spoke of that in the 50s. I don't know.
All right, Dick Tracy. Welcome, folks, to the Sidekick Show. It is Monday night, November 28th. November 28th, Rob. This is nuts, right? This is nuts.
Yeah, man.
You guys in the comments, what happened this year? Christmas is right around the corner. You've got less than, 4 weeks of shopping, probably less. You probably only got, realistically 1 week, maybe 2 weeks before things that actually are desirable all sell out.
Gone.
So start doing your planning now. Let people know if they ask you what kind of gifts you want. Just tell them. I think Rob, are you beyond the point where you care if it's a surprise or not, or would you rather just tell somebody? It's nice, but would you rather just be like, I'm gonna ask, or maybe if you had to get something for your son and you were just like, just what do you want, and you would just pick the thing that or do you feel that the surprise negates?
So for me, gift giving, I like to do the surprise. I you know what I'm saying? Like I like to, but for me as a receiving person, I'll tell you what, at this point in my age, I'm just like, these are things that I need or that I want. It's always nice when you get something you weren't expecting as well, like kind of thrown in as I like having that, out of left field surprise, as long as it's not like a back massager. Do you know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden you give me like a loofah brush and a back massager. That's not a surprise.
From the shopping channel? What if it was from the shopping channel? That's kind of vintage.
I have a friend whose mom, they said, "Oh, Mom, we really need, this for the house or whatever." As a, because now when you get married, John, I don't know if you have this, now you get these joint gifts. You're no longer an individual. It's like, here, we're getting you this because you bohave could use a popcorn maker, or you could both use a set of towels. So, but I know that I have a friend of ours who, they were like, their mom gave them a joint gift, but then wanted to surprise them with individual gifts and got them, got the wife one of those head massagers. So you probably see it. It's got the handle and it's got like the 8 tentacles that come out and it's supposed to like massage your scalp. She's like, "What am I doing?" She goes, "I think it'd be great." And then at that point, it's like, just stick to the list. Just stick to what I asked for. Don't go off script.
That feels like a regift, but you never know.
Have you ever received stuff as a regift that was a regift?
You know what? Not as like a like a main present, but if you go to like those company things or the one the blind gift exchange party type dealies, you 100% get those. I usually try and turn it into a game with our family. We do. I don't know what it's called, like Bad Santa or whatever, where you basically re-gift something or give away like a terrible gift and it gets passed around the room or whatever, something along those lines. But I
got wedding gift like as a wedding present given to me.
Yeah.
It was a regift that somebody else had gotten at their wedding.
Oh,
and
all
it
right.
was like used. Like it was like napkins with like a stain on it, and then like these hot plates. And I
Eee.
was like, I could tell that this was a vintage, like it was used, and you gave it like I think they were just like, oh shit, let's just give him this.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Scott. The white elephant, where you can like get it, open a gift, and then you can steal the other person's gift. It's actually a pretty fun game to do with those stuff, and it might get a bad gift for you might turn out to be something for someone else. But yeah, that's not cool, Rob. But maybe that's all that they could afford at the time, and wanted to give you something instead of this box of nothing. Nothing.
You get
Absolutely nothing.
nothing.
You're so stupid.
So speaking
Anyway,
of getting things for yourself, did you do any Black Friday, Cyber Monday shopping?
I'm trying to think. No, I didn't. I didn't.
Wow.
I looked. I looked for deals.
Okay.
There were some toys and stuff like that, but I have a lot of toys at the shop, so I was like, okay,
Really?
push that aside. I checked. You have your Amazon want list or whatever. I popped open my list and scrolled through that stuff to see if any of that stuff went on sale. None of that stuff went on sale. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go hunt for something. That feeling when you're like, oh, it's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and you're like,
FOMO.
yeah, and you're like, I didn't get anything. Maybe I should go
Yeah.
get something, and you start searching online for something to get. Like that's how
Yeah.
they get you. That's how they
Yeah.
trick you, as Joe Pesci would say in Lethal Weapon. That's how they get you. What about you, Rob? Did you score anything sweet? And anyone in the comments, let us know if you scored something sweet for your Black Friday or Cyber Monday sale.
So if you'd followed my socials, you'll know that I
Yeah.
got 2 new pairs of kicks, John. Some Adidas
Oh.
kicks I got. They were both 50% off. So I got the 2 pairs of shoes for like $100, bro.
Sick. Rob got himself some pumped up kicks.
I got some kicks. I picked up some new bands for the Apple Watch. I picked up a headset for my PS5, like the Sony branded one. You know what I came down to though, John, to kind of like to your point, it was like a FOMO. It's more of like wants as opposed to needs. But the one thing I did get that we did need was a new sort of luggage, and that's on its way. I got a decent deal out there. And now that was about it. I mean, it may be a couple of things for Christmas, but for the most part, it's it is that fear of missing out. Like you want to get like a really good. It's like say buying, John, the Sony backbone. Because if you got all these reviews about how great
at least
it is.
make some more sense. I'm really missing out. We missed out on the Shark Cordless Pet Pro Multiflex vacuum that Lewis got. Shout out to Lewis. I hope you got a good deal on that.
Wow.
Hope that was something you were looking for.
Would you get a robot vacuum? I think that's my next thing. Next year, for next Black Friday, my target is going to be one of those robot vacuums.
Oh, like a Roomba?
Yeah. But they have like different brands now. But yeah, that idea.
Yeah.
Because they have it now where it docks in the station, John, and it's self-emptying.
Oh, it's self-empty. Where does it empty itself though?
Into a canister, and then after a month or whatever, the canister says, empty me, and you're like, okay, and you dump it, and then you put the canister back.
Just from under the couch, empty me.
Empty me.
I would if it came with a catapult and it just catapulted this stuff, and you had to position it near a window or a garbage can or something,
right?
Catapulted it into there, that'd be amazing,
right?
But yeah, I've had a couple of those robot vacuums. I've seen some guys on TikTok that accumulate tons of them and just have like an army of them. Mine always would get stuck under the couch or the bed or something like that. I'd have to go hunting. Supposedly you can map out your stuff, but I'm always moving my stuff around. So I think it just wasn't a good fit for me. So maybe I'll have to dust it off literally.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So let me see if anyone else scored some sweet deals. Steve is shouting out that the Sony headset costs as much as a PS4. Yeah, PS4s you can get on the cheap now, right, Rob?
I guess. I don't
know.
They're
giving those away. They're giving those away. Shout outs to Astro Boy, Metal Slug Brick Buildings. Shout outs to Lewis, who's loving his Lego stuff and not Lego stuff. What up, Sarah?
Hey, Sarah.
Yeah. So Lewis is shouting out, lives in a condo. Cool. I guess you don't have to deal with dust in condos.
Well, he says there's no need for robot vacuum. He bought a regular vacuum. He bought the Shark Cordless Pet Pro Multiflex vacuum.
Yeah.
So see, Lewis wants to walk around and actually vacuum shit, whereas the robot does it for you. But
yeah. He wants that extra fun and excitement.
You know what it is? I think he's got an Apple Watch and he's trying to accumulate the steps and the cardio on it. So he's, vacuuming as one of his workouts.
Yeah, he should store something important that he has to use all the time in the lobby of the building. So he always has to go all the way down and all the way up. That'd be quite hilarious. So shout outs to your Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal scores. I'm sure Rob's going to be listing his backbone on Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace very soon. And the description is going to read, does not fit phone with case on it.
Never use.
Oh my goodness. All right. So thank you everybody for tuning in. If you are not watching this live, please join us live Monday nights at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'd love to catch you in the chat and make fun of your purchases, or have you make fun of us.
Make fun of us.
Yeah. That's usually the latter is usually a lot more fun. Yeah. Rob's purchase failed, not reading the fine print. I wonder if it's even in there. You should. I feel like it's not something that has to be included in there.
No, I knew going in that the backbone, that all the reviews I saw online and the videos on YouTube, it said it doesn't work with cases, and I was like, that's fine, whatever. But I got a really good case that is like solid on there, and it's like it doesn't come off. I'm like, God damn it! So now, whatever, man. Hey, if you haven't had an opportunity to check out the Heroes World main podcast, obviously we're off for a couple of weeks, but we were back in full effect, full force, whatever. Jon Stewart and I, and we did our review of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So if you haven't had an opportunity to check that out, please check out our YouTube page or wherever you get your fine podcasts and listen to that review. Three of us with, I think, John, we could say kind of three differing opinions about the movie. So it was interesting listening to everybody's opinion and shooting the shit on that. So it was a fun show.
Yeah, a lot of fun. If you haven't seen the movie, I think we all recommended go see it in the theater if you can, and if not, I guess we'll wait and see when it actually drops on streaming.
Do you want to take a guess? When do you think? What's your guess, John?
I'm thinking February would be my guess. I feel like they're going to give it the Christmas run, which it deserves. They're giving it a chance. Unlike poor Black Adam, who got digital release less than 4 weeks after. So I think they're going to give it a good run, and then you're going to see February, I would guess. What says you?
It came out when it was November, right? It wasn't October. It was November it came out. So I would have said actually December 31st or January.
I think
1st.
It came out very end of October.
Okay, so you know what? I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to say January 1st.
January 1st? Right, brand new for the new year. All right. We'll see how it goes. Shout out to Sarah. Yeah, blind boxes. I'm trying to think of what I have in stock. I've got a lot more like squishy pets and and funny stuff on the counter. Sarah was there last time, so she knows. I'll try and send her some pictures. Maybe she wants a package sent over to her. Do we want to spoil who liked and hated Black Panther, Rob? I think we can generally say we all liked it, but it was to varying degrees. Yeah, you're just gonna about that. Yeah, Rob's gonna about that. All right, we'll see.
If I had a beard, I would just stroke it like this. Say but I don't.
Like a beard on your face, or would you have a beard on the side table or something? You'd just be like,
if I had a beard, I would pick it up and just like, yes, hello, beard. Yeah,
a replica of a Viking or something like that.
I can't grow it. So listen, hey everybody, tonight, as John said, it is the 28th of November, which is a mind-blowing realization that holy crap. We are close to the end of the year. We are closer to Christmas. And as such, we are kicking off our little mini holiday movie extravaganza. We're doing it for the next 3 weeks. This week, the next 2 weeks, and then on the 19th, we're going to do like a little Christmas, whatever, John, a little holiday ho cheer.
We'll do a hangout. We'll do a like kind of drink and snack sesh maybe.
Yeah, and the reason we're not doing a special Christmas movie on the 19th of December, for full transparency, John, because we here at the Heroes World Psychic Show are all about transparency, is because you can't handle watching any more Christmas movies.
I said we might be busy. It's a week before Christmas. I work in retail. You work in some other actually important industry in the world today.
Chippendales.
That's your busiest time then.
It is. I gotta shake that candy cane.
Oh my God. Rob's gotta shake that candy cane. That's the new shirt. Coming out for 2023, folks. Shake those candy canes. I think we got to move on from there. So we are talking about Jingle All the Way later today, folks. So stay tuned for that. I think we should maybe spoil the next couple movies in case people don't stay for the entire broadcast today.
Why would we do that?
I don't know. Some people got important things to do, like shaking of candy canes.
Okay, then. Sure. So, okay. So, listen, for those, I guess we'll just spoil it now because John is now changing the terms of a 3-year-old show. Next week, if you have the opportunity to join us, we are going to be reviewing Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton, Lauren Graham, and a hell of a lot of fun. It is currently airing or streaming on Prime Video in Canada, and the week after that, which would be December the what, John? Doesn't matter. I guess it's the 12th. We are going to be watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which is currently not streaming anywhere, but at this point, you should have it. It should be
a classic.
It's a classic. It's a classic movie.
Yeah.
And John hasn't seen it in years and years and years. So we're going to be watching Bad Santa next week. Week after that is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah. We're gonna. You can get it like probably $5 rental off iTunes or Amazon, or you pick up a copy. Use our Amazon affiliate link down the bottom. Pick up a copy, dust it off, and I think we have to watch something like that because we keep putting off some of these hardcore classics because they're not streaming. So
yeah,
we're gonna open the gates starting 2023. I think I've got a couple titles lined up, and I think Rob's gonna probably love the first one I choose, and hopefully you guys tune in for that. So stay tuned for that. So Rob, let's get into our show. We'd like to ask, what did you all get up to this weekend? So there's a lot of new TV shows, movies, things that happen. Maybe you're playing a lot of video games. Let us know what's going down this past weekend, or maybe you were really busy this weekend and you got to go line it up for this week. So what are you gonna check out? So Rob, I know you usually like to catch up on a lot of things. I'm sure you finished 1889.
I did. I finished 1899. I won't give a full review, but I will say that I think, and I don't know if Scott is still in the chat. I think he is. I think I might like Dark better. These are from the creators of Dark. And I do know that this season, the way it ends, you're like, Dark is best watch the full 3 seasons as like one complete story. And I started to wonder if maybe, because that's how I watched it, I wonder if this show will benefit from a full completed story. I don't know how many seasons it's going to go, but it was really good. It was a lot of fun. It was number 1 or 2 in Netflix in Canada. So definitely worth a watch. But I think my gut tells me I think I might have liked Dark season 1 a bit better. Also, John, I watched Pepsi, Where's My Jet?
Yes.
On Netflix.
It's fun, right? It's very well put together. The way they tell the story, the actors, they got to play the younger versions of all the people in it. And they do a good job of drawing out exactly what happened to keep you, I guess, on the edge of your seat watching all these 4 episodes, right?
And then, John, we're going to go in the new year. We will probably talk about our favorite things that we like, whether we do it on this show or on the Heroes World podcast. We're going to be talking about our favorite things of 2022 that we've watched. And I got to tell you, John, one of those things on my list was The Gray Man, because I rewatched that this week because it's just so easy to watch and so much fun. So that's what I got up to this weekend, aside from obviously visiting you, my friend, in the store on Saturday. But what about you? What did you get up to this weekend aside from seeing one of your best friends of all time?
Yeah. And then I also saw Rob. I finished. You watched the Guardians holiday special, right?
Oh, I did watch that. Yes. Yes.
I did watch that. It's a lot of fun. I feel like it's going to go 50-50 on people who hate it and people who absolutely love it. So we'll give it a little bit more time. It just dropped. A lot of fun. The Guardians cast is really good to see back in action. I also did watch. There was Freddie Prinze Jr. Christmas movie on Netflix. I forgot what it was called, but it was terrible. So don't tune into that. And then I did watch the first episode of the new Shaquille O'Neal documentary series on HBO.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of fun. Really well put together as well. They've got like these animated title cards that come in. Shaquille O'Neal is like a super funny guy. And I actually was not familiar with a lot of his early career stuff. I kind of followed him when he was teamed up with Kobe Bryant, which I'm sure they're going to cover in the series. And then they might gloss over the whole rivalry that him and Kobe had just because the timing is not right to reveal stuff like that right now. So shout outs to that.
If you're a big basketball fan, John, which I know you kind of are, there's a documentary on Netflix called The Redeem Team. Ooh. About the squad, like the Dream Team stuff, but it was the Redeem Team with Kobe and LeBron James and Dwayne Wade and all that from 2008, I think, Olympics. Anyways, it's about an hour and a half or so. I think you'll really enjoy that as well, especially them talking. Yeah, so
that'd be dope. I definitely gotta watch that. So shout out to that. Let me do a quick check-in and see what everyone else got up to this weekend. I think Scott says he just watched Christmas Vacation last week. So he's already had a schedule, so you can watch it again.
Yeah, well, Scott had Thanksgiving this past weekend, so happy Thanksgiving, buddy.
I always forget that there's U.S. Thanksgiving as well.
Yeah.
Steve says he can't remember the last time he's seen it, so hopefully you join us with that one. Let's see. Lewis is playing a lot of games. Fortnite. Yeah. Division 2. He's watching Santa Claus 2, and Santa Claus Limited Series.
Yeah.
What is going on? How come there's so many Santa Clauses? Are there that many? Is Santa Claus
actually,
new?
There's 3 movies. There's actually 3 the Santa Claus movies, and now they've they're released the Santa Claus series. I don't know how many episodes it is, but I think there's 3 of them are out so far or something. So
okay, interesting. Yeah. Interesting news. Not included in our list, but Jingle All the Way he did put on there. Sarah says she binged Servant. I'm not familiar with that one. Binged Wednesday. That's the new Addams Family spinoff, right?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Which I've heard really good stuff about, right?
Yeah.
I saw a picture online of the poor guy who has to play the thing, like the hand, and he's like on the floor, like crouched it under like a desk, and then the Wednesday girl's like sitting next to him. I'm like, shout out to that performer. I'm not quite sure what he brings to the role, but I'm sure it's a lot of work. I don't know if I would do it. I'm like, hey, you like, am I done now? You know, it's like, no.
I think what he brings to the role, John, is 4 fingers and a thumb. But
there you go. And the wrist. How much wrist do you get to see, Sarah? Is it enough wrist?
John's got a thing for wrists. He's like,
yeah. Does he wear a watch? And is the watch still considered a watch? Is it now considered a belt? I don't know. And then she watched the latest season of Dead to Me. What's wrong with my Seinfeld impersonation?
Love it.
All right. Steve, of course, watch Andor and Lutheran Theory. A lot of people talking about Andor this week, Rob.
Yeah, man.
I think we're going to have to catch up on it. I know you're way behind.
Yeah.
And I'm way behind.
I'm going to have to restart the whole thing. So.
Yeah. Fraser's still on that Peripheral show, which I wanted to get started, but I didn't get a chance to get to.
Okay.
Since the cancellation of Westworld, I figure I should jump onto a show that's actually continuing. So yeah. He bought Almost Human. We talked about Almost Human a while ago, which was that Carl Urban show. I would like to watch that again. Yeah. Let me know where you picked it up, Fraser.
Eric, he bought the new God of War game, Ragnarok, and he's going to start playing it later tonight. And he's been watching the new Quantum Leap show.
Oh, yeah.
Which I agree.
Quantum Leap.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. It's a hell of a lot of fun. It's been on hiatus for the last few 3 weeks, I think, because of holidays and whatnot. So it's a lot of fun. I do have the God of War Ragnarok game as well. But, John, I'm still working on Ghost of Tsushima, which may be the longest game of all time. So
all time?
It might just be because it's driving me crazy. Because I'm a completionist. I'm trying to get everything done. So
is it a really hard game? Is it like one of those Dark Souls?
No, it's just very repetitive. Like there's a lot of there's like 8 million side missions. So that's what's taking me a long time. And then I saw I don't know, whatever. People are saying delete Facebook because Steve's saying it's for some reason it seems to be spoiling all his MCU stuff. So I don't know.
That's all social media. Once it gets you in the algorithm that you actually watch these things, it just starts.
Then you're screwed.
Yeah, then just starts pumping stuff straight to your feed. Scott also comments on your dark versus 1899
Yeah.
theory. So the general consent, the general idea is you guys probably will have to wait for 1899 to see the long game to see if it's going to be as good as your favorite series of Dark.
Yeah, maybe. Here, one thing I will say though about something I'm looking forward to, John. Alan Richardson, who, as you know, John, starred in one of our favorite TV shows of 2022.
Yes,
Reacher, has been posting a whack of videos from the set of Reacher season 2, which is just filming in around our area, John.
Let's go.
I think we should totally go. We'll bring our Reacher books and have them sign them. I just want the show now. Like, I'm so excited for this damn show to come out. I don't know. There's no date as to when. I'm hoping it's sometime in 2023, but just I want Reacher season 2, man. Yeah, he keeps posting all these cool videos. I'm just like, man, I just want this. So
I think we need some time. We got the new Jack Ryan coming up before Christmas, I think, right?
Yeah.
So sometime next year for Jack Reacher, I think we'll sit really nicely.
Are you going to do another rewatch of the series?
That's what I was going to ask you. If you're going to dust it off, I think I do have to.
I won.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Since you were first, I think I'm going to put it on in the background at some point.
Okay.
Because it is a show that's was a lot of fun, especially later on. I think we both stated it took a while to get going. I want to see if I feel the same way. Maybe I'll go back and watch the first episode and be like, no, this was actually perfectly good for getting new people into this. Having just wrapped up the new book. I don't know if you got to the new book yet.
No, I got like 3 books I'm looking at right now that I'm bringing with me when I go away. So I will be watching it again. I love watching it on my TV, but I think this might be one of those ones where I might throw on the iPad and lie in bed, or on a couch, or on a lounging bed by a pool, and maybe just watch it soon. So I will probably I'll probably give it a go, because I just man. That's all I have to say about that.
I love a really comfy chair, like those chairs that like you basically just like sink into. Right. I don't have any room for one in my actual house.
Wait.
So sometimes you see.
What do you mean your actual? Are you in a fake house? Or are you in
No. I mean, like it takes up too much space to just have a single chair that is kind of like a lounger.
Okay.
But sometimes I go out and I see them like at hotels or whatever, and you're like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool looking piece of furniture. Let me sit in it and look at a book or watch some TV in it.
I just want you to know that right now in the chat, people are chirping you about never turning off your PS5.
Oh yeah, my PlayStation account is permanently on because my daughters use it as a Netflix delivery machine.
At 3 a.m, they're complaining the fact that it's always on.
Sometimes they leave it on, and I just don't go downstairs and shut it off. So
you don't have the automatic shut off if there's no activity after a certain amount of time, it turns itself off.
I don't know. I haven't been checking on it. Maybe it's not doing its job.
So then that means Lewis' comment is very timely. Wasting energy. All right. Way to go. Way to go, John. Let's get into what is new at the store, John. Let's tell the good folks.
Yeah. So what's new at the shop? I didn't do the new comic book release because I fudged it up last week and mixed up some dates and stuff like that. It's very time consuming, but I did grab some pictures of some stuff that Rob wanted me to grab some pictures of. So there was a bunch of new release omnibuses that came out.
Oh, thank God. I was like, what are we talking about?
No, the other thing.
Okay. Phew.
Yeah.
So don't worry, Scott. Your secret's safe with me.
All right. Great reading happening at the store. So we got tons and tons of really good books, hardcovers, collections, even manga this year. Last year was a very high demand for manga titles, so we have a whole bunch this year. So this week we do have the brand new King in Black, Donny Cates run on Venom. Hell of an epic run. I think, Rob, you said you didn't really read this one, right?
I didn't, no. But I heard a lot of good things about it. I think I have to look at some more reviews and whatnot about it before I decide. But yeah,
it's good. I don't think you need to look at reviews. You just have to see if you want to read Donny Cates' style of writing.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
And it is very good. It's a very, very good run. He definitely did I think the best Venom's ever been. So I recall
Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Sorry, we're not going to talk about the Tom. I recall watching the Venom movie and people were complaining about the storyline and what they did to Venom and stuff. I'm like, if you think about historically, Venom didn't really have any good books, but now he does. So now they have no excuse when they make a new movie or relaunch it. So you guys got to wrap up whatever that junk is you're working on now. and get to stuff like this. So King of Black, highly recommend it. Good holiday reading. And we also did restocks of the Superman Omnibus, Rob's all-time favorite, Tomasi and Patrick Gleason. One of the best Superman runs, I want to say, ever as well, Rob. Like this book, this run, when it was coming in, this is the highest, like when we do the pull list at the store, this is the time that the most people were collecting Superman in the history of the store being open, collecting Superman on a regular basis, which was this particular run. One of your favorites, right, Rob?
Yeah. And I'm very excited that you guys have it. I got a copy from you when it first came out in the summertime. I believe it was May or whatever. So I'm glad you got some new copies in. And I highly these things are like highly sought after. I belong to a bunch of like omnibus groups and whatnot, and people are always looking for these. So if you're kind of on the fence about whether you want to pull the trigger or not, and listen, I'm not getting a kickback. I'm just telling you, this is a really good story. Like this is one of those things, like this run, and then like the Death of Superman omnibus, like those. There are a certain amount of stories and runs that you want with certain characters, and this is definitely one of them. It's one of my. I could just pick out any story and just read through it. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and it's gorgeous to look at. So
yeah, it's a very bright, colorful evolution of the Superman character with the addition of this character as his son. There's some Batman and kind of Catwoman and Lois play in there as well.
Yeah,
and then tucked in behind there is the Batman, not to be outshone by the Superman book, but the Batman Scott Snyder Volume 2 omnibus. So one of the greatest Batman runs too. To date, I feel like it's going to start beating out some of the older books that were tried and tested classics. I think this Snyder Capullo run is some of the best Batman's ever been as well.
Yeah, and the nice thing about this Volume 2 omnibus, John, is that as you know, Snyder and Capullo did the 52 issues as part of the New 52 before it got relaunched and went off to, I think Tom King took the title over with issue number 1 of Rebirth. However, in this Volume 2, though, is that they also have, I think it's Last Night on Earth. Is that the Black Label miniseries? I think it was 4 issues. The one that Batman's got Joker's head in a jar. Yeah. That's in this as well. Like there's some other stories post New 52 run that they worked on, so it's definitely worth picking up because if you have Volume 1, you definitely want the completion of this whole entire set.
Yeah. So definitely check those out. And I got lots of other stuff. I did also get 100 Bullets Volume 1 and 2 in omnibus. Is one of the greatest Vertigo books ever done. Brian Azzarello, Eduardo Rizzo, 100 issues of just the craziest stuff you will ever read. I can't believe they put it together. I would be like, I want to see how these guys write, or how this guy Azzarello wrote this storyline. Yeah. Like what type of board with strings attached and all that kind of stuff, because everything at the end comes together so crazily that you're like, oh my god, I can't believe this thing I read back in issue like 1 or 2 is coming back in issue like whatever 99 or whatever. So it's really crazy. So shout outs to those. Lots of great reading. If you guys want some stuff, drop by the shop and hit us up. You can hit me up, or you can certainly hit Rob up. He knows his omnibuses and can show you a thing or two.
Well, I will say though, John, that Volume 1 is of 100 Bullets is practically sold out as well. So I love that story, man. I got the big thick trades from you way back when, and I was just consuming that and eating it up. So I loved it. So yeah, and again, because I was at the store on the weekend to check out all the stuff that you guys had, holy crap, all your collected editions, there's a lot of stuff there, a lot of things I was about to pull a trigger on, including the new printing of Miles Morales Spider-Man omnibus. Like that, I think it's its 4th printing now. These things are called whales because they come and they go pretty quickly, so you got to get your hands on it while you can. I just want to address, Eric asked us a question. He said, hey guys, I heard that Avatar 2 going to make around $2 billion. Sorry, it has to make about $2 billion to make a profit. Do you think it's going to reach that goal? And do you think it'll be in theaters for 8 months like the first one? That is an excellent question, because the first one came out in 2009, John, I think it was. So we're quite a way. It's a whole different theatrical landscape. So what do you think, man? Do you think, first of all, I don't know if that's accurate, if number 2 has to make $2 billion. I know that they filmed 2, 3, and I believe 4 all back to back. So I don't know how the math works on what each has to make, but what are your projections or predictions for Avatar 2?
I don't know. I don't have any stock or weight in this Avatar property. I missed the craze of the first one. I do love James Cameron. So I guess you could say in Cameron we trust, but is this gonna be the juggernaut like Top Gun Maverick was, but for sci-fi and to line up three more consecutive movies? I feel like I don't see it, but I also didn't see the appeal in the first one. I don't see the appeal in the second one. So I feel like they might be reaching a bit far. But if they have faith and they stick to their guns, maybe they can get there, right, Rob? Like if anyone maybe can hold the box office hostage other than Tom Cruise, maybe it's James Cameron. I don't know.
It's interesting because I'm trying to gauge the buzz for this movie. And I don't really like, I feel like there's not a lot. And I feel like the passage of time has not helped. Now, we could all be completely wrong. Look at what happened with Top Gun Maverick, passage of time there. And that thing just killed it at the box office. But so listen, it comes out December the 16th, which is a Friday. I think actually the premiere date is the Thursday. I bought tickets to the Friday night for my son and I to go. But we're both kind of like, if we just don't feel like going, we'll just refund the tickets and just not go, because none of the trailers have captured me like the first movie's trailers did. And so I'm just not sure if it's still going to hold that, how much fun I had with that first one when I did originally see it. I know Andre's really excited to go see it. He's been talking a bit about it in our group chat. So, I hope it holds up for him, and but I don't know. It's hard. I haven't heard a lot of buzz about it. I've heard like a lot of industry people talking about it. Like you see them online, but I haven't heard like the normal folks on the using eyes. Really
they're basically gonna have to. I feel like they're gonna have to hold everything. They're gonna have to hold the line, and have faith in their product, because I feel like you're right. The buzz isn't there. Like Top Gun is a part of the culture, right? Like people have aviator glasses. They do the lines to each other back and forth. There's all kinds of merchandise associated with it, and references. There's whole parody movies made of it. So I don't know if Avatar 1 has that same weight. Like I can't.
Although they did re-release it following Avengers Endgame, like that next summer, they did re-release it to try to beat Endgame to make some more money so they could retake the top spot of the biggest box office. And they made a fair amount of money when they did a re-release in theaters. So I don't know, who knows? But yeah, I mean, again, I've already got my tickets, so maybe I'll go on that Friday, and I'll let you guys know. But
in my opinion, I can't see it. I feel like this property is like, they make it seem big, but I'm not seeing it. But maybe we're in like this little bubble.
Yeah,
the world is like, oh my god, give me my tickets for Avatar. You know,
and we're stuck in a Dune world.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, Eric shutting.
I prefer the sand of Araxis over the water of Pandora.
Oh my god! All right, so since we already talked about Avatar, is there any other news that maybe dropped this week, Rob? Since we're on the topic of news going down.
Yes, I am on the topic of news, and the news is that there is literally nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
There's there's little tidbits here and there of stuff, but like nothing that would be considered like buzzworthy to talk about. Nobody gives a shit about some of this stuff. There's really not.
Yeah, I saw Will Smith had come out and said, "I hope my actions don't reflect on this new movie that he's got coming out promoting."
Yeah, he talked about that today, right? And during because he's got is it Emancipation, I think, is on Apple TV Plus, and he's like, listen, a lot of hard people have worked really hard for this movie, and I don't want my actions, as you said, John, to take away from their hard work, the spotlight of this movie. Hey, I think that's a really genuine and sincere thing to say. So, hopefully people judge the movie based on the merits, not of this thing that happened, which feels like 12 years ago, but it was just 10 months ago. Honestly, man, there's literally nothing. There's nothing to talk about. I mean, there's a James Gunn put out a fan poll to see what DC character people want to see in his new revamped DC Studios universe thing. Booster Gold took a top spot. So, okay. But there's and the Penguin, John, starts filming soon. The Penguin TV series starring Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
That kind of goes off of the events of the Batman movie, which came out in March of this year, John. Again, it feels like forever. But the working title is called The Boss. Okay. So yeah, there's nothing else, man. I got nothing that's really new and important. What do you got? Anything?
No, not at all.
Excellent. Yeah, it's just a really, what I think it was, because of the holiday in the U.S. on Thursday. I think there was just a huge, a lack of any real news. I will bring up this one quick thing though, John. Yeah. Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, was purchased by Netflix. And it was in theaters for 1 week, and it made a hell of a lot of money in just the opening weekend or whatever. And it's now, I think, out of theaters because it drops on Netflix in 2 or 3 weeks, I think. But a lot of analysts are saying they've left tens of millions of dollars just squandered away by not keeping it in theaters. So do you think this will, first of all, are you excited for this movie? And number two, do you think that was a bad strategy of Netflix to only put it out for a certain period of time? Or do you think it's smart? They want to build that buzz. People are like, oh my God, we need to get to see the theater, and then rush to Netflix. And if they don't have their membership, maybe repurchase a membership to go watch it.
Yeah. If Netflix Play is to start adding subscribers, then yeah, get that buzz going on theaters, especially if it's a good movie, it's a good property. I haven't seen the first one. I wanted to go check it on theaters, and something happened and I missed it. And I heard it was a smash hit. So yeah, this next one is a good one. Yeah, get people to subscribe. Stop dropping all your content in one binge session so they can cancel their membership and then re-sign up later. So I don't know. I think maybe a short box office window is the way to go, especially with things like Black Panther and stuff like that. Avatar around the horizon, wouldn't have lived long in theaters anyways, because it get pushed up with those blockbusters, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, sure. Give it a go.
All right.
Here we go. I'll watch it on Netflix.
Cool. All right. Let's get into our movie of the night, John. It's already 9:00. Holy schmolies.
Oh yeah. Sorry. We got distracted earlier. Thank you everybody for the great comments and such. And we're going to talk about our movie, Rob, Jingle All the Way. Did you bother grabbing a breakdown for this? I'm very curious as to how you feel about this movie.
I did, buddy. All right, everybody. This is the time of the show where you're like, hey, thank God we get to talk about one of our favorite Christmas movies, or not. Jingle All the Way, released November 22nd, 1996, John. Jingle All the Way was a holiday movie pedigree, has holiday movie pedigree behind it, thanks to Chris Columbus, the writer and director, John, of Home Alone. Starring John's man crush, Arnold Schwarzenegger, future Anakin actor Jake Lloyd, Rita Wilson, Sinbad, and the late, great Phil Hartman. The movie's budget was $75 million, and it made, just shy of $130 million at the box office. The premise of the movie is one that a lot of parents can relate to, which is essentially scrambling to find the hot toy for your kid at Christmas. And in fact, the writer of this movie and Columbus kind of developed the story based on their shared experiences. When Columbus tried to get his kid a Buzz Lightyear action figure for the year that Toy Story came out, and they were sold out, and he was running everywhere trying to find one, I would have imagined Chris Columbus had enough pull, though, to have called Hasbro and be like, yo, bro, help a guy out.
They might not have existed. They might not have had any stock left, man.
So this movie was supposed to lead to merchandising of Turbo Man, John, but because the film was shot so quickly, which was about 6.5 months, the studio didn't get a toy company to produce any real action figures. They only had one doll, and that was it. The line of toys fizzled out. When the movie was released, it did open at number 4 that opening weekend, John. Behind Star Trek, First Contact, Space Jam, and Ransom with Mel Gibson.
Ransom, give me back my son.
Critics were not fans of the movie when it was released, and neither were fans. No, neither were people like us, the general viewing public. It seems, according to, I might have been drunk writing this. According to Rotten Tomatoes, the movie currently has a 19% critic rating and a 38% audience score. That's not good. Now, despite those low scores, the movie did go on to win an award, though, John. Did you know this? It won an award. Sinbad won an award for Favorite Supporting Actor in a Family Movie, presented by Blockbuster Entertainment Awards. Remember those things, John?
Yes.
Blockbuster
Entertainment Awards. Thank you, Blockbuster.
So here we are, John. Does this movie still jingle your jangle, or is it all the way to hell with you?
To hell with you. All right, so yeah, so the Rotten Tomatoes score is on here. I thought this might have had like a higher audience score because I do have.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I do remember every time I used to play this at the shop a lot, and people were like, "Oh, I actually like this movie." I don't know, maybe they were just humoring me, but this movie is hilariously bad. So I still love it because I love all things Arnold. But there's a lot of issues with this movie. A lot of funny things that I feel like I must not have rewatched in a while. Because the
Wait a minute. Hang on a second. Enough of this bullshit. You have been wanting to rewatch this movie forever. You have always gone on saying this is one of your favorite Christmas movies. And when I said, fine, last week, let's just do it. You were like, yes, I'm so excited. Finally, one for I got one, I win. And now you're saying,
I might have put it on ice a little too long that I've forgotten some of the points of it. But the overall story is something we live through every Christmas season, pretty much. If anyone's been getting toys for their kids or watch the trends every year on the news, there is a Turbo Man thing that gets dropped into the news of this hot toy or whatever. I feel like sometimes the news manufactures the demand for a certain toy or not. But it is funny.
John's going on with fake news all of a sudden.
Yeah, it is funny how strikingly close this costume is to the Flash. Is it not, Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I think they ripped off a Flash costume where they just repainted it. I'm interested to think I feel like I have watched this movie maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I think I must have taken it out of rotation at some point.
Wow.
And not notice. I do own it on Blu-ray. I do own it on DVD, and I do own it on VHS. I didn't see a Blu-ray, Laserdisc, so I don't think I owned it on that. But Rob, how did you feel about Jingle All the Way? When was the last time you watched it? Never.
No, I don't know. Maybe 1998. This movie's a piece of shit, John.
It is not. It has redeeming quality.
Actually, if I think about it, I think I might have thrown it on a few years ago, and I think I might have thrown it on for Noah. I thought, oh, you might really like this, and I remember. So he must have been maybe about 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Anyways, he walked out. He's like, he's like, I'm out. Yeah, you know what? Okay, so Nerd Emperor is the toy store shelf montage when Arnold's struggling to find Turman is absolute nostalgia overload. Yeah, okay, I agree. There's a lot in this movie where it's like you can completely connect with what's happening. Everybody we grew up in a time, John, where it's like every Christmas there was always that one hot toy that everybody wanted. And parents are running, trying to get it. I remember the Cabbage Patch Kid craze was crazy in the 80s when those things, and parents were lining up, going to Sears, Simpsons, The Bay, trying to find these when they were trying to come in. It was absolute pandemonium. Parents were running around trying to find it. I remember all of those things, the hot toys and all that. And so this movie did a good job of reminding us what that shit was like. The problem is the rest of the movie is just a bunch of garbage. And I'll be very honest with you, I think Sinbad completely just his character destroys them, is useless. And I think the reason that Jake Lloyd was cast as Anakin Skywalker is because he does about as much whining as Luke does in episode 4. And they're like, this is like a young Luke Skywalker. He whines about going to Tosche Station and getting power converters. Let's cast him as Anakin.
Did you not love his room, though? His room that had the Kirby Captain America painting on the wall and everything?
Yeah, okay, that was cool. This is just like, this movie is never ever in my periphery of ever thinking it as being, oh, this is one of those ones that, it's a Christmas movie. I don't consider this a Christmas movie because I think it's a piece of shit. I'm just not. I watched it and I tried to find something. I found some funny areas in it, John. I was like, that's pretty funny. I can appreciate that, especially now as a parent. I can appreciate that. But for me, man, I think this might be Arnold's shortest movie. This is 90 minutes exactly. And thank goodness for that, because it is not. This is not on a Christmas.
I think it could have been edited down to a tight 70 minutes, and it would.
I could have been edited down to a tight 45 and called it an after-school special.
There's some fun times in this movie, and we're gonna go over it, folks. Let us know your thoughts on Jingle All the Way. I think Nerd Emperor says he watches it every year. It used to be on my every year rewatch, but there's a lot of stuff that's come out now. Shout outs to this kid. Like, who picked the outfit for this kid at the end with the most obnoxious color scheme that just like destroys your eyes? He's like this weird green cap, and I think he's wearing like an orange or yellow outfit. It's like all over the place, which is
welcome to the 90s, John.
Yeah. It was like the worst. I actually had more of a problem with Phil Hartman's character being a little too like a little too much.
A little over the top, little creeper.
A little too handsy when he's eating the cookies, and he's like, your wife's cookies. Oh my, like and he's exaggerating it over the phone. It's hilarious. And then I think Arnold at one point is like, get my wife, and he's like, she's in the shower. You want me to go check? And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, I'm wondering. I wonder how many years in jail he gets after the events of the movie.
I think had his character, like, I think his character would have succumbed to the Me Too movement.
I think he only serves a little bit more time than Sinbad serves. Almost trying to like murder a kid. And the funniest part of the movie, Rob.
Okay.
For me,
yes,
is there's one scene where Sinbad starts ranting about Christmas, and he's like, "You get the blah, and then he grabs a random lady in the crowd and starts choking her, like just out of nowhere. All of a sudden, he's choking a lady, and I'm like, "What is going on here?" And I think the rumor is that, or I feel like it's not really a rumor, because you can probably tell that Sinbad improvised most of his lines in the movie. So it's pretty funny. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, I guess, got to kind of play back and forth with him a little bit. So yeah.
Yeah, I found his whole character to just be like ridiculous. Like the inclusion.
Put that cookie down now.
The inclusion of him and like his whole arc was just like, when you first meet him, it's like, oh, this is kind of funny because you can like, oh, he's a post guy, and it's the foil. They're both aiming to try to get Turbo Man for their own respective kids. And you're like, okay, that's cool. And now it becomes, it's a cat and mouse game to try to get this toy. I like that. But then they made Sinbad go like completely like way off the rails. Completely nuts.
Like, he gives him like a ball. He gives like a bomb, and he like blows up a cop at one point.
I was like, whoa. Yeah, like it was like, and then like, we grew up in a time, John, where you saw a lot of news reports about disgruntled postal employees, and then they made fun of this. Like this whole is around that time, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like that just, the whole thing. I just thought his character was way over the top, and I don't know if that was a creative decision. I don't know if it was his decision. I don't know what. But I
think they needed someone to kind of punch up the movie, and they let him go wild. I think at one point he's on the ground and he's yelling like Rodney King or something like that, and he's getting like beat, and you're like, whoa, hold on a second, buddy. Jeez. But I guess it was okay at that time.
I guess. How was your favorite non-human character, the reindeer?
Yeah, the reindeer was great. I'm trying to think of I'm like, the warehouse of Santas. I thought that's pretty funny.
With Jim Belushi, teaming with his Red Heat co-star. Okay, that was kind of funny, with the fake. But again, like, why did we need to go to the warehouse of Santa Clauses? What was the purpose of that?
Oh no, yeah, they should have done that deal in the parking lot.
Yeah, man, in the back of the mall. Like, what are you doing? Like,
But they wanted to show off like the giant. Do you think that giant Santa was Kevin Nash or somebody?
No, it was the Big Show.
Oh, the Big Show.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
the
that's who it
Big
was.
Show.
Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah.
There's one point where Arnold takes the Santa's beard back and snaps it, and the guy like flies end over end.
Yeah, but so totally this movie's all over the place. What are you trying to be? What type of movie is this trying to be? It was just like, it felt like, you know what it felt like? It felt like a hot pocket that exploded in the microwave. It was just a hot mess.
Yeah. It's, I don't know if it's gonna, yeah, I think overall, if we're gonna talk about it overall, I think I would choose to watch another Arnold movie like Twins or Red Heat or something else over this again. But I don't know, something about it just screams Christmas to me. I think it's the idea of that hot toy. So maybe it needs a remake or something like that.
No, well, Kate. So first of all, I gotta tell you, I'm irritated that this is the first holiday movie of my 2022 season. So for you,
that's fantastic. This is fantastic.
So I'm irritated that the first movie I kicked off my holiday season is this one. And I gotta tell you,
I set you up. All you have to do is go up now.
I blame you so hard.
What now falls below it? What falls below Jingle All the Way for you now? Like you're good. You're good. Look at that. I set up the perfect Christmas movies for you.
Yeah, I'm annoyed. As Louis just
I
said,
was shocked when you agreed to do it.
Because you've been pushing and you wanting, and I kept saying no. And you know what I realized, John? I need to be more open to your suggestions on things. And so I said, okay, I will. And this just goes to show I should trust my instincts and not agree to the shit that you want to watch.
It's great, folks. I think this alone was worth it. Rob basically accusing me of ruining his Christmas. So much Jingle All the Way.
I'm supposed to decorate my house.
I'm gonna send you a copy of this movie.
I'm supposed to decorate my house next weekend. I don't even feel like it anymore.
Christmas is over. It's canceled. No, take the tree down.
Yeah.
Slap the decorations out of your daughter's hand.
But Daddy, why? I don't understand. Because John made me watch Jingle All the Way, and I'm fed up with this shit. Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know what? Listen, I think it hit at the right time though. Like in all seriousness, like you when the movie starts and it's like we're watching a parody of a Power Ranger show of you're watching all these things. It was so timely in the 90s of the themes that they were hitting on. That's why I say like this movie could have been like really, really good. And it just misfired. But I have a question for you though. Now, my kids are a bit older now, John. They're in their, preteens or in their teens. And there's like no real hot toy, but does that exist anymore with the advent of Amazon and online? Like, is there really the hot toy that people are still scrambling to get? Because I feel like that kind of died down the last 4 or 5 years, or it just could be my point of view. I'm not sure.
No, it 100% still goes down. Maybe not to the level where it becomes a national news story like Cabbage Patch Dolls and Tickle Me Elmo.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe the Furby was the last like big one. But there are going to be things that are going to be sought after that are going to sell out. Like, but we also experience on the regular, not even at Christmas time, when the new yada yada comes out. Pokemon, for example, always seems to have it happen and stuff like that. So I don't think there's any singular like certain like one character. If there was like a Superman doll or something like along those lines, that's going to create the crazy news buzz.
Yeah, like who was it? Lewis said the mini SNES was a thing, and I agree. It's like 2 years ago when the PS5 dropped. And
it's always these little things. These little things are going to happen, but it's not going to be something that everybody wants or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Nerd Emperor. Yeah, there's totally what that intro was a straight rip from the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
The Turbo Man was so ridiculous. What did you think of the VFX in this movie, Rob? when the turbo when he was flying around in the jetpack.
Listen, I gotta say, maybe my most fun cameo of this. First of all, the VFX were shit. Whatever. It was $75 million budget. I think 30 of that went to Arnold.
I think it's 20 million at least went to Arnold.
I think the most fun cameo for me was the guy who played at the end. He was his cringe or whatever the wolf guy was.
Oh yeah. He's like a Gilbert Gottfried, but he's not.
Yeah, Curtis. Yeah. I'm going to try, but anyways, he was from like Revenge of the Nerds, and he was Booger in Revenge of the Nerds, and that guy makes me laugh, man. I was like killing when I saw him, and he was smoking his cigarette there, and he's like, "It's about time." I was like, "Oh, this is great, man." I love this guy.
He's constantly telling him what he needs to. He's like, "You gotta. What are you doing, you idiot? You gotta wave."
Yeah.
Wave.
And then when Turbo Man gives the doll to idiot Jake Lloyd, and he like wipes a tear from his big, Curtis Armstrong is the name of the actor.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right, great cameo. Did you stay for the after credit scene?
No. There is no after credit scene.
There is an after credit scene in this movie, where they're at Christmas dinner or finishing up Christmas, and the wife turns to him and goes, "Oh, so Howard, what did you get me?" And then he turns to the camera, and then it like zooms in, and then cuts.
Stupid. I'm so mad.
This was so worth it, folks. So my elaborate ruse to sell Jingle All the Way for the last 2-3 years to Rob has paid off, and we've ruined his Christmas.
That's fine, man. Even people in the chat, nobody's talking about this movie except for Nerd Emperor, and I'm happy, my friend, that you have enjoyed this movie.
Yes, thank you.
I'm glad that it's on your list of things that you like to rewatch over the holidays. So just because I'm shitting on it, I'm glad that you still find enjoyment out of it. I get it. I can see why. Just not for me. But I have to say, you are an individual on an island without anybody around you, because everybody else in the chat is talking about other shit. Nobody's talking about
I think other people still
movie.
enjoyed this movie. I think this is still a fun movie, especially if you're an Arnold fan. But yeah.
Okay, if you say so.
All right. Anyways, so we'll wrap up Jingle All the Way. Thank you, everybody, for checking it out. If you did tune in and you did watch it, hopefully you enjoyed it, or you found pleasure in Rob's displeasure of the movie.
Yeah. Great.
Bazinga. Anyways. All right. So
seriously, why is Jake Lloyd so annoying? Come on, John.
This part was especially written terribly for him. Like when he's standing in line for the parade and stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah," like he's just like acting like a ridiculous, annoying kid.
Did they film this in Chicago for the parade stuff, John? They actually had to go back to Universal lot in Hollywood to be able to film on the New York sound stage that they had built because of security issues and concerns. They had 1,500 extras. They kept moving them around as part of the parade stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
They had a lot of like costumes show up in that parade. That I saw like Sonic the Hedgehog, and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of those shout outs to those those characters of pop culture characters at that time.
Yeah. So, all right. So we'll wrap up Jingle All the Way. Maybe we'll dust it off again next year, or we'll go with Jingle All the Way 2. Which, how dare they make Jingle All the Way 2 without Arnold Schwarzenegger? So after we're done shaking our candy canes, Rob, what do we got? What do we got going on for next week for everyone that stuck with us that didn't hear it maybe at the top of the show?
Thanks everybody for sticking around. So next week we are going the complete opposite movie tonally. And we're going to a movie that, John, you have not seen. Am I correct in that?
I have not seen this movie. I thought I did, but I think I was mistaking it with another movie.
What the hell other movie would you have?
I don't know. Just some other Christmas movie.
All right. Well, John, we are going
Elf or something like that. I don't know.
We're going all the way back to 2003, John, with Billy Bob Thornton, and we're talking about Bad Santa, which I gotta say I'm pretty excited to rewatch. It's been a couple of years since I've watched it. I remember laughing my ass off the times that I have watched it, so I'm very excited to get into this. you'll see why I made this suggestion once you get into it. It is currently airing on Amazon Prime in Canada, so if you have that subscription, you can check it out there. And Bernie Mac, it also has the late great Bernie Mac, John. So I'm thinking, first of all, don't watch it with your kids around. It is a NSFW if you work from home and you have kids around you.
Okay.
Lots of swearing, right up my alley. I love it. But yeah, John, it is Bad Santa, and that's next week.
All right. So it's not a comedy. It's like a serious.
Oh no, it's a comedy, but it's
okay.
Yeah, it's like talking to me.
Okay. So it's not a family friendly comedy.
No.
Right.
No.
Let's go. Bad Santa, folks. Don't put it on at work. Or
well, you can.
Or get the family to gather around family. We're gonna watch
Yeah.
a Christmas movie.
Yeah, your mom's
Santa.
visiting. She's in her 70s. Sit down. We're gonna watch a Christmas movie, everybody. We can watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or Bad Santa because my buddy Rob recommended it. Let's watch Bad Santa. I guarantee you're gonna have a hell of a different conversation that night.
All right, so opt for the more family friendly Jingle All the Way. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. It's so worth it. It was like Rob's face. Yes, Rob's face. And also Rob's face in reaction to watching Jingle All the Way. Folks, thank you everybody for tuning in and giving us your Monday night. It's always a ton of fun and a blast. So hopefully you guys will tune in next week for Bad Santa and the week after for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And then the week after that, we're just going to hang out and chill, talk about all things Christmas, what you got maybe planned and coming up. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rob,
Thanks,
for
buddy.
indulging my elaborate ruse of Jingle All the Way, selling it for the last 2 years. Totally worth it, punchline.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.